Hello everyone. In this class, we are going to discuss about the naturally occurring peptides, and here under that one, we are going to discuss about the glutathione. Glutathione, it is one of the antioxidant which is produced in the most of the cells in our body at 5 millimolar concentration. And here in case of the liver cells, it is produced in the higher concentration of around 10 millimolar concentration. Glutathione, it is a tripeptide having the amino acid residues such as the cysteine, glycine, and the glutamic acid residue. Chemically, the glutathione it is called as the gamma glutamyl cysteine glycine. This glutathione it can be present in the two forms. One is the reduced form and the other one is the oxidized form. Coming on to the structure of the glutathione, this is the structure of the glutathione. In this case, we can see the three amino acid residues, glutamic acid residue, cysteine, and the glycine. And here in this case, the glutamic acid residue in its side chain, it will be having the carboxyl group, which is going to form the covalent bond with the amino group of the cysteine residues and going to form the gamma peptide bond. It is different from the regular peptide bond, whereas the cysteine residue and the glycine residues are going to link to one another covalently with the help of the regular peptide bond. This is the structure of the glutathione, and here in this case, if the cysteine residue, if it is having the free sulfidal group amine, so here in this case the glutathione is said to be present in the reduced form. As I told you earlier, the glutathione it is present in the two forms, the reduced form and also the oxidized form. In the reduced form, the cysteine residue of the glutathione it is having the free sulfidal group over here. And here in this form, so here we are going to abbreviate this form of the glutathione as the GSH, which is a reduced form. So here in the oxidized form, the two molecules of the reduced glutathione are going to react to one another and going to form the disulfide linkage. And here in this form, we are going to call this glutathione as the oxidized form, and which is abbreviated as the GSSSG. And here coming on to the critical roles of the glutathione. As I told you earlier, the glutathione it is the one of the antioxidant plays an important role in neutralizing the different type of the reactive oxygen species, reactive nitrogen species such as the superoxide anion, hydroxyl radical, nitric oxide, peroxide nitrate, and the carbon radical. And here apart from that one, the cells which are facing the oxidative stress will be having the high level low level of JSH to JSSHG ratio. So here the JSH to JSSHG ratio it is the indication of the health status of the cells. And here apart from that one, the glutathione it is also going to act as the cofactor for few antioxidant enzymes, for example the glutathione peroxidase. And here in addition to this, the glutathione it is also involved in the regeneration of other antioxidants such as the vitamin C and the vitamin E. So here these vitamin C and also vitamin E also going to act as an antioxidant in our cells. So here in the regeneration of these antioxidant also the glutathione plays an important role. And here in addition, the glutathione it is known to involved in the detoxification of many endogenous compounds and also the xenobiotics. So here the endogenous compounds are just nothing but some of the toxic or the side products which are produced in our body. So here those endogenous compounds are going to be neutralized or detoxified with the help of the glutathione. And here apart from that one, the xenobiotics, some of the drugs or the chemical compounds which we taken externally. So here those the xenobiotics are also going to be neutralized by the glutathione. So here these are the functions of the glutathione. So here apart from that one, it is also having the other functions such as the, so here this glutathione it is involved in the excretion of the heavy metals such as the mercury and also the POPs. They are called as the persistent organic pollutant. So here in the excretion of the heavy metals such as the mercury and also the POPs also the glutathione plays an important role. Then here in addition to this, the glutathione it plays an important role in the maintaining the thiol status of proteins and other molecules. So here thiol status means, so here the proteins are also having the many different type of the amino acids. So here the cysteine residues which are present in these proteins are also should be present in the reduced form for the activity of the few proteins. So here to maintain these proteins in the reduced form, this glutathione plays an important role. So here that's why we are going to call this one as this glutathione it is involved in maintaining the thiol status of proteins and the other molecules. And here apart from that one, the glutathione it is going to act as the storage reservoir for the cysteine residues both inside the cells, and also it is also helpful in the inter-organ transfer from the one organ to the other organ. And here it is also involved in the metabolism of the estrogens, leukotrienes, and the prostaglandins. Very importantly, the glutathione it is also involved in the reduction of ribonucleotides to the deoxyribonucleotides. So here the ribonucleotides will be reduced into the deoxyribonucleotides. These deoxyribonucleotides further are going to be involved in the synthesis of the DNA. So here in this conversion or the reduction of the ribonucleotide into the deoxyribonucleotides also, the glutathione plays an important role. And here we discuss about the different roles of the glutathione, and here in addition we can discuss the few aspects or the mechanism. So we cannot able to discuss all, so we can discuss the few aspects or the mechanism of the glutathione. So here it is also involved in the excretion of the xenobiotics. So here in this case what happens means many xenobiotics compounds are going to be conjugated with the glutathione. So here the conjugation of the glutathione to the many xenobiotics are going to be helpful in their excretion and also conversion into the non-toxic form. So here this is also the other function. And here apart from this one, so here as I told you earlier, the glutathione it is going to act as an antioxidant. So here in our body sometimes it is going to produce the reactive oxygen species. So here what is the source of the reactive oxygen species? In the most of the cases is has nothing but in the case of the mitochondria, where the electron transport system is going to take place, and where we are going to observe the series of electron transfer reaction. And here in this electron transfer reaction, so some amount of the electrons may be leaked, and here it will be immediately accepted by the oxygen and going to produce the reactive oxygen species. In this case also, the oxygen it is going to take up the electrons from the electron transport system, and here it will be converted into superoxide anion. So here this superoxide anion will be converted into hydrogen peroxide with the help of the superoxide dismutase, which is one of the antioxidant enzyme which is present in our cells. So here the superoxide anion will be converted into hydrogen peroxide. This hydrogen peroxide it might be converted into water with the help of the enzyme catalase, or it might be converted into the water with the help of the other enzyme called as the glutathione peroxidase. So here in this case we need to understand about the glutathione peroxidase. So here this glutathione peroxidase it is going to convert the hydrogen peroxide reactive oxygen species into the water in the. So here in this case we can see the involvement of the glutathione, which is present in the reduced form, will be oxidized into JSHG in the conversion of the hydrogen peroxide into water. So here after this, the oxidized glutathione, it can be again reduced back into the JSH form with the help of the other enzyme called as the glutathione reductase. So here GR stands for the glutathione reductase. So here apart from this one, in the production of the reactive oxygen species, so here these reactive oxygen species they are going to affect the cell membrane. So here they are going to involve in the formation of the lipid peroxides in the cell membrane, and here ultimately it is going to results in the affecting the integrity of the cell membrane. So here how it is going to takes place. So here in this case in the first step, as we can see, so here there is an unsaturated lipid is there, and here to which the reactive oxygen species will be react to the unsaturated lipid molecule and going to takes out the hydrogen atom from the unsaturated lipid molecule, and here it is going to result into the formation of the unsaturated lipid radical. And here we can see that the presence of the single electron over here, and it is called as the unsaturated lipid radical is formed. And here to this unsaturated lipid radical, it is going to readily accept the oxygen molecule and going to convert it into the lipid peroxy radical. This lipid peroxy radical sometimes it can be neutralized with the antioxidants such as the vitamin E. But here in addition, so here what happens is, so here this lipid peroxy radical which is produced over here, it can react with the other non-oxidized lipid molecule, which is nothing but the unsaturated lipid molecule, and going to produce the one more molecule of the unsaturated lipid radical, where this lipid peroxy radical will be converted into lipid peroxides. So here this is how the process of the lipid peroxidation will be continuous as a chain process. So here the if the one molecule of the lipid is oxidized means, so here it is going to results into the more and more production of the oxidized lipid molecule. So here in a chain, so here this lipid peroxidation it will be keeps on goes, it is keeps on continuous in the cells. So here it can be neutralized with the it is going to be neutralized with the other antioxidants are there, for example vitamin E and the vitamin C. And here as we can see in this slide is, so here we are going to discuss about the role of the vitamin E. So here in this case as we discussed earlier, so here there is a production of the lipid peroxy radical will be formed over here, which is called as the ROO dot. So here it is the lipid peroxy radical which is formed. So here this lipid peroxy radical which is formed, so here it can be neutralized with the help of the vitamin E. Vitamin E, it is which is nothing but the alpha tocopherol, which is having the hydroxyl group. So here this hydroxyl group, it is going to be helpful in neutralizing the lipid peroxy radical into the ROOH. So here by doing so, the lipid peroxy radical will be neutralized, and here in this process, vitamin E will be oxidized into the vitamin E O dot. And here this vitamin E will be regenerated with the help of the vitamin C. So here the vitamin C, it is going to regenerate that, which is going to reduce the vitamin E back here. And here in this case also the vitamin C will be oxidized. So here how this vitamin C will be, again it is going to reduce. So here it is going to be takes place with the molecule which is nothing but the glutathione. So here the glutathione which is going to reduces the vitamin C from its oxidized status to the reduced state. So here by doing so, the glutathione, it is involved in the regeneration of the vitamin C and also the vitamin E. So here the GSH, it is going to reduces the vitamin C, and further the vitamin C, it is going to reduce the vitamin E. And here this vitamin E, which is plays an important role in the neutralizing the lipid peroxides which are formed due to the presence of the reactive oxygen species. So here this is how the glutathione, it is involved in the regeneration of the vitamin C and the vitamin E, which are nothing but the other antioxidants, plays an important role in neutralizing the reactive oxygen species. Okay, so this is regarding the glutathione. And here apart from this one, the glutathione, it is also going to involve in the neutralization of the other endogenous products such as the methyl glyoxal. So here the methyl glyoxal, it is one of the side product which is produced in the glycolysis. So here this methyl glyoxal also going to be neutralized by the glutathione. And here in addition, some of the molecules such as the malonic dihaldehyde, 4-hydroxy 2-nonitol. So here these two molecules are just nothing but the end products of the lipid peroxide. So here these products are also going to be neutralized with the help of the glutathione. Okay, so here this is regarding the glutathione. Thank you.